Your local game store means a lot of things to different people. It's a local hub for socializing with others about your hobbies, a place to network and expand your interests, and a marketplace to sell off pieces, as well as to add to your collection. It's basically a nerd pawn shop, where secondhand meets high demand, and it can be confusing and intimidating. But don't worry, now you have a friend in the gaming business. My name is Mason, and I'm one of the owners of Cardinal Gaming, a game store in Louisville, Kentucky. And this is Card Shop Candids. Welcome back, guys, to another edition of Card Shop Candids. Appreciate you guys clicking on the video, supporting the channel, supporting the store. Let's talk about, it's going to be a fun one. This is a good one. You have a scenario. You have two guys in front of you. You have your binder. You're going to go and sell your stuff. And you have, on your left, your regular employee, just maybe, sorting some cards out, putting some stuff in the cases. Or, to your right, you have me, the owner. Who do you think you want to take your cards to? Who do you think is going to treat you better and give you a better deal? Does it even matter? The answer is probably. And maybe not at the same time. It depends on a lot of things. So let's break it down. When I first started this business, and I think like the infancy of like growing my business and like the things that you had to do along the way to maybe get a deal to happen, or maybe to work a trade or to grow a relationship, you have to kind of, wheel and deal outside the realm of just like, this is the percentage I'm going to give you, and that's how this is going to work. Once a store gets to a certain point where it has employees, there has to be some sort of structure or some sort of planning. Especially when you get to like our level, where we're at, pretty highly efficient. A lot of things are, well, I say that, there's a lot of things we don't do efficiently, but there's policies in place. There's, a system of pricing things and doing things. And how we go about doing that is going to be different from a little mom and pop shop or like a sports card store and a dude that maybe doesn't know Pokemon very well. And, just like all those things play a factor into whether or not talking to the owner is a good thing or a bad thing. Right now, I've told you, like in that scenario, if you had to pick the employee over me, I do not have the time to go through a binder with you for an hour and price check everything and break everything down and give you an exact quote on everything. What I will do is that I will flip through it, and because of my knowledge and just because of anything, Pokemon is the game that I know the best. So if you have Pokemon cards and you're walking in wanting to sell some stuff, that I will at least be a lot quicker than probably my employee would be. Because I'm going to guesstimate a lot of things. I'm gonna, go pretty quick, flip through some pages, and do some mental math in my head. That could be to your benefit if something is going and turning down. Maybe I remember it from a couple weeks ago. If something just came out new, I'm like, oh shoot, it's a $40 card, and then by that point it's like $18, and it's just like I just gave you like face value potentially. That has happened. I've noticed that when I went back and I was like, oh shoot, cool. Now I know. So that does happen. But it's also like, because I'm going so fast that, your card that's $3 and your card that's $1.50, there's potential for it to be all lumped together and be priced out as a $2 card going forward. And maybe up to a $5 card being it. Just as I'm buying, bulk V prices, or if you have a bunch of like hollows and stuff like that, unless I know it's in the meta, probably not going to take the time to looking at look that up and be like, oh, well, shoot, that's actually a $3 holo that I didn't know just because it's not played, but it just maybe is collectible. Stuff like that. Or promos that are just like randomly expensive just because if they're really cool looking or if they're just a hard to find promo. I don't know. If it's stuff that I don't see very often and I don't get in very often, I'm not going to know the price of it. So I'm just be like, yeah, it's probably more than likely like the rest of the promos that are worthless, but sometimes they're not. So things like that. Yeah, I'm not going to, I'll be quick. I'll get you a number real fast, but more than likely, again, at this stage of our business, you may be better off just going to one of my employees because they're going to take the time and follow the rules better than I am. Not follow the rules. I follow the rules. I'm making it sound like I'm just up here doing whatever. I'm following the rules. I have the ability to give leeway. And I don't have somebody to answer to if I get something wrong. So I'm a little more cavalier when I give out and price things out. Because especially if it's something I really want, yeah, I might give you a little bit more. But yeah, if I'm going fast and you have a bunch of cheaper stuff, yeah, it's probably going to get lumped down, rolled down to a lesser amount. Just because if it's something I know I have a bunch of, yeah, more than likely I'm gonna not give you as much as the straight percentages would play out to be. So that's stuff to think about. But my employee is going to be very meticulous. Even if they know the game, they're going to do the due diligence and price the stuff out for you and look it up. Reference TCG Player, look at eBay, make sure that things are very close because that's what they're trying to do, is to be accurate and take the time and look up stuff. Sometimes, until they kind of get the swing of things, it could be to the detriment, where they're looking up holos and maybe even regular rares, and they end up being below our threshold of what we consider bulk. So we're bulking out the stuff, but he's taking 20 to 30 seconds to price it out. So, you have a binder that could take a while. And most of the time people do, I guess if people had to pick the choice of being like, hey, do you want straight percentages? At least if you go to my employee, it's going to be like factually correct of what we should be paying out. With me, it could go good or bad for you. So to be real honest, this is just the way it is, because I don't have the time. I don't have anybody to answer to. So yeah, I'm going to do whatever I want, really. So that's an interesting thing to think about. So if you walk into an established card shop like ours, we've been around for 5 years now, and it's a place that, is in the swing of things, maybe, busy. I mean, during the day, we can have, several buys going on at one time. So, we buy and sell a lot, and my guys are very good. And if they're not good, they're going to get good because of just how much they're going to be doing it. So, and that's just going to take some time and learning process there. But yeah, maybe if you take it to like maybe a newer shop or something like that, where somebody is maybe trying to build their inventory, they're going to be a little more aggressive probably and willing to give you more if they have a good, strong singles market where they have maybe a good player base and people coming in and buying singles from them. If they're the other direction where they're a small shop and they don't have a lot of money to spend and they're trying to get things on the cheap, to make as much profit as possible, that could work out against you. So the good thing that I always recommend to people, and being like, if you don't know a store, is just take a handful of cards and see how they treat you and see how they price things. The good expensive stuff and the lower price stuff, to get a feel for it. That's always just a good idea. Especially if you are going to be buying and selling potentially a lot down the road. It's always a good idea. But yeah, the smaller shops and the people that are new and getting, they're going to be one way or the other. And you kind of have to sniff that out a little bit before you actually get that kind of a feel for what they're going to be paying for you or doing for you. And then for places like a sports card store or something like that, man, if you wanted to employee or, that's a rough one. That's a hard one. I personally would probably go with the employee just because they're more knowledgeable. But again, I value my time differently than what maybe somebody that is just like, yeah, this is all extra stuff. And we have had people just be like, hey, I'm going to go get lunch. If I leave this with you, can you just price it out the next maybe hour or so? I'll be back. And we can get it through it. And we can take our time and not feel so rushed. So that's a good thing if you have a good reputable store that you don't mind dropping things off at. Some people are never going to get to that stage, and that's okay. I will happily look things up in front of you with you watching for however long it's going to take. It's fine. It's just how you're comfortable. So, yeah, that's kind of like the two things to think about. Well, a couple things to think about between having my employee or me price your stuff out. But, yeah, use that knowledge to your advantage. Think of maybe places near you that you may do business with, and think about those things next time that you walk in and you have kind of the option of who to take your stuff to. But that's going to do it for this edition. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Okay, bye. Hey guys, Mason here again one more time. Really do appreciate you guys watching the video. Make sure, if you like the series, give it a like. It's free. It costs you nothing. And if you are really liking the videos, please go back and watch the rest of the stuff from the series. Really helps out the channel. You should be seeing that pop up on the screen now. Also, if you have any ideas or topics that you want me to cover, go down in the comment section and let me know. But I really do appreciate you guys. Bye-bye.